very nice to hear your voice and nice to meet you, Louise. Thank you so much for showing up for today.
Thank you very much, Dow, and it's a pleasure to be on this call, so I appreciate you inviting me. Thank you.
And I have your website up for everyone to see, Inspire for Life Therapy. Yeah. And we've been in touch. I've listened to at least one of the tapes that you sent me a long time ago, and then you got in touch with me and said that you've developed some tapes for traders that could assist traders. You know, we all have paradigms that sometimes are roadblocks to success in trading as well as life. So why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself? I know that hypnotherapy was a little later in your career, that you started off with Reiki, and I'm just guessing you went to hypnotherapy because it was a more direct route to get results than, for example, like a guy like Robert Proctor, who through repetition that your unconscious mind takes in, you can create a new paradigm if you have an emotional attachment to an image or so forth. So I'm just an amateur. Why don't you tell us about your journey and your goals and how you help people? And then perhaps you're going to play that tape.
Yes, I'd be happy to play that afterwards. So again, thank you for inviting me on. I'll introduce myself first, and then I'll tell you a little bit about my background and how I went on to become a clinical hypnotherapist. So basically, my name's Louise Nonweiler. You can see my website. I'm originally from London in the UK, but I've travelled for many, many years because I used to be in the casino business. So I travelled for about 20 years in my early 20s. I lived in Florida. I travelled a lot around the Caribbean, and also then I went on to Australia in 2007. So this is where I had my first hypnotherapy session. After this session with this person, I was blown away by the results. So that's when I decided that I needed a change in my career. So I went on to become an accredited clinical hypnotherapist, as well as doing Reiki as well. I went on to do a life coaching course and also an NLP practitioner course. So from then I came back to the UK in 2010, and that's when I really started to build my business. So I have a very successful practice or practices in the UK. I also offer Skype hypnosis.
Okay. May I ask what issue you went to that your first hypnotherapy session that you were amazed that helped you?
I knew I was going to be asked this question. To quit smoking.
Okay.
So I used to be a smoker, and in 1 2-hour session, after a long, nasty habit, I was a non-smoker, and I haven't smoked since. So that pretty much sold it for me. So from then, I did a lot of research and obviously became accredited in these fields. So coming back to the UK, I built my business, and from then on, I started to see people in trading. I realised that there was a real, there was a real audience for this. So I've seen many traders, mostly private traders, who trade from the comfort of their home or their office. And that's why I decided to develop this MP3 hypnosis recording.
Okay, so let me ask you, what are most of the roadblocks that you're therapeutically through hypnosis helping these private traders with? I'm sure there's varied things, but what would be the most prevalent?
Well, it seems to be the mindset, people's mindset. So say for instance or example, I would see a private trader, they'll come to me and they've had a series of losing trades for whatever reason, it doesn't matter, but it will sometimes knock their confidence or their focus or even their motivation and passion around trading. So what I do with the trader is I work on their mindset, their emotions and their psychology around trading, as opposed to sort of the technical and the fundamentals around trading. And even within 2 sessions, they can see amazing results around this. So it can be very, very beneficial and effective.
Why are some people more open to suggestion and some people are not?
That's a really good question, Dal. My belief is there could be many reasons for this. Some people come to me who are highly anxious, or they have severe stress. That can be almost a block in itself. Some people are skeptical. Some people just sort of don't believe in it, but they just need a change in their life. But in saying that, hypnosis pretty much also always works. So once they sort of become more open to it and they realize how relaxing, how powerful, safe and effective hypnosis is, the more open for change they are. And once they realize I don't turn them into a chimp or a headless chicken, then they're happy.
Okay. So did you want to play what you produced?
Yeah, sure. I don't know what the quality is going to be like through the laptop, but I'm happy to play it. So I'll just go on now. I won't be a moment, sorry.
Should everyone close their eyes?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
So I won't start from the beginning, because the beginning basically is taking you into that sort of relaxation deepener, which is about sort of 10, 12 minutes long. I'll take you straight to sort of the suggestions that I offer. Would that be okay?
Sure.
Yep, okay.
You're the boss.
Okay, won't be a moment, Dale.
So you were right about the sound quality, Louise. We're not really hearing you. We could hear the music, but go ahead.
Can you not hear the actual recording, the voice?
No, more can hear the background music better than the voice, but
Okay. That's a shame.
that's okay. You know, I just wanted to give people a chance. You know, I always say, Louise, that trading is what we do. It's not who we are. And some of the things that we bring to the table as traders, like you said, are barriers. In fact, I was talking to someone, a very good trader, a few days ago, and he talked about how, you know, he's ADHD, and if he would lose his keys, he would magnify it and tear the whole house apart. So that's how he would react if a trade didn't work out. It's like the end of the world, and instead of having the awareness that I'll find the keys in a minute or two, I don't have to panic. So why don't you talk about some of the things that people, I know that I've had, okay, I'll be an open book, I've had issues with depression in my life and anxiety in my life. I think a lot of people have that don't even admit it. The first thing is the awareness to admit it. So have you noticed with traders that it's not so much their methods, it's some undercurrent in their mindset? And even some people, have you met any people that are not successful traders because they feel they don't deserve success?
Yes, I have. I actually, what I do in the sessions is I spend a lot of time talking to the person. Not so much about trading in the beginning, because we get onto that, but what's important is I need to find out about the person. I need to find out about their behaviors, their beliefs, how they perceive themselves, which is really important, and the world around them, and so much more. So it's really finding out about the person and how they tick, so to speak. So once I find out about how the person they are, it's about changing their mindset. So it could be working with their belief system. They could believe that they're not good enough. They could have a fear of failure. So it's really getting to the root cause and the root reason of the problem as why a person is not achieving the results that they want to. in that time, obviously, because I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, I work with people when they're under hypnosis. And I believe this is a lot more powerful because it's working on the solution. So instead of sort of working on the past, it's about changing things for them now. And that's why I do see a great success in a very quick time.
Well, you have a great demeanor and a great voice, and I've seen I see on your website all the awards that you've won. Why don't you leave us with a suggestion, and I'm going to give the whole community a suggestion to go to Louise's website, Inspire for Life Therapy. Let go of your ego. If you have some issues that you've been trying to cope with your whole life, you know, you don't really have anything to lose to check this out. And I do believe that you have some sample, what are they called? Just little, you could send to people where they could listen to a recording of what you do before they would decide whether or not to retain you and have Skype sessions, etc. So I'm glad that you know, it's kind of unusual. Normally we have traders, they say, oh, the euro's going here, the gold's going there, but I'm a big believer in facilitating a community that there are other things that we need to work on within ourselves that will add to a more positive outcome in what we're trying to accomplish in trading or anything else in life. And I'm curious about it. I may retain you, and I want to encourage people to go to your website. Also, you could follow Louise on Twitter. Your handle is @4_inspire. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct, Dale, yes.
Okay, so I want to thank you. I'm sorry the recording didn't work out, but thank you for taking the time, and I wish you all the success in helping people. You and I are kindred spirits. That's what we want to do, is we want to help people in some way, be a guide, have them learn from our experiences, and I'm a believer that hypnotherapy is a very powerful tool if you're with a credible practitioner, and anyone that looks into it should definitely check out the credentials. You know, there are a lot of scammers out there, Louise, that claim they could do what you do. How would you advise people? Now, how would you advise people to know who is real and who isn't?
That's a very good question. There's, you know, for instance, in the UK, there's some very good websites and directories that you have to be accredited and, you know, have all the credentials, you know, to be on these websites. And I always say to potential clients, you know, if you don't want to come to me, always look, say, for instance, on the hypnotherapy directory, which is, I think it's just solely in the UK. But there's websites around the world, and I always say, you know, be careful about the therapist that you choose, because for a person who's experiencing problems or who wants change, it's so important, two things. One, that you find the right therapist, and two, that you find the right therapy. And obviously the most important thing is that a person wants to change. So once you've got those three things under your belt, it will be amazing the results that you can see in your life. So. Thank you
so much, Louise. I hope some people follow through and get a hold of you and at least take a listen to what you have to offer. It's a pleasure knowing you, and if there's anything I could ever do in the future to spread the word for you, I'll be more than happy to do so.
Thanks, Dale. You're a star. Just to let you know, lastly, that there will be samples of my recordings on my website, because I know they're not on there at the moment, but there will be samples over the weekend, so people can listen to part of the trading hypnosis recording.
Thank you so much, Louise. I appreciate. I'm glad I reached out. I'm glad I reached out to you on Twitter, and yes, me too. I'm a believer. Okay, so
I'm pleased.
thank you very much, Louise. Have a great weekend.
Thanks for listening, everybody, and have a great weekend. Thanks, Dale.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Face. Thank you,
Okay,
community. Have a great weekend. Have a
You too,
great
Robin.
weekend. And okay, thank you, Louise.
Have a
So
lovely
thank you,
weekend.
Steve. Thank you. And thank you,
Bye.
Steve, for, bye-bye. And thank you very much, Steve, for all your analysis all week. And thank you, Nick. Thank you, Grega. Thank you, Blake. Did I forget anybody? Thank you, Face. Somebody else I forget. I always forget. Thank you, Stell. Thank you, Stell, for all you do, for keeping my spirits up, and have a great weekend with your family, everyone. Enjoy your summer. Summer has begun, and let's kill it this summer. You're very welcome, Tom. Have a great weekend, everyone, and remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. I'll see you on Monday. Adios.